Hello and welcome to the third session of organs of government, which we had gone through that our government, central government, state government, legislative assembly, legislative council, then Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, president, prime minister, ministers. Now who is, we will think that now sir had told that yes, president is the head of everything. President signs the the bill, and then it becomes the act. You all might be thinking about president. You can be a president of India, but for this, what you need? Do you need a particular type of courses to be done? Course for president? Yeah, somewhat it is that. No, it's not like this. There are some criteria. There are some qualifications criteria. There is the criteria regarding age and many things. What now we are going to study about the first person of India. We can say, as I told, Rashtrapati, the president. President is in the constitutional head of India. Underline this thing. President is the constitutional head of India. All the executive power of the federal government is given to the president by the constitution. Our government works on the laws and regulations and acts of the constitutions, and all the powers are given, the executive powers are given to the president by the constitution. All the administration of the central government is carried out in the name of president. He is the head of the nation and the first citizen of Republic of India. Understand properly. He is the first citizen of Republic India. Now, what are the qualifications to be a president? A presidential candidate should be a citizen of India and should be 35 years of age or above. He should not be a salaried employee of the government or hold any office or profit. Means he must not be a government executive servant. He should not be a member of the houses of the parliament, state legislative assembly. Understand it? Not a member of the houses, any of the houses of the parliament and state legislative assembly. The presidential election is indirectly carried out by the members of both the houses of the parliament and the members elected to the state legislative assembly. So all the members, those who are in state legislative assembly and the members of the parliament of the both houses are elect a person as a president of India. A president is elected for a term of 5 years and he can contest the election of the completion of his term. When the president is in power, neither criminal case can be framed against him, nor an order of arrest or improvement can be issued. When the president is in power, when this person is is in power, no case can be charged against him when he is in power. Underline these last two lines. No case, not a criminal case, can be charged, framed against him, nor an order of arrest. He cannot be arrested. Yeah, that's still you can see. Or no other improvement can be issued against him. So by this thing you can understand that what a dignified not personality, but as he is the chief executive of the Constitution. Constitution has derived him in his way. He is considered as the President of India, first citizen of Republic of India. He is, when he is in power, no case can be done against him. Yeah, anything else. Now, what are the functions and powers? When you become the President of India, what will be your function and what are the powers within you? So let's continue on page number 78. I am forgetting to say again and again the page number. While I am turning it, for that I would like to feel sorry, and I am sorry too towards my dear students. Now what are the functions and powers? Understand it, one question comes compulsory. Either President या Vice President, either Rajya Sabha या Lok Sabha, either this President and Prime Minister. So people, not people, students like you are confused regarding this thing. Both the powers and age and qualifications and these all things, they mix it up. They write the same criteria of Prime Minister into President and President into Prime Minister. They write Rajya Sabha into Lok Sabha and Lok Sabha into Rajya Sabha. So many conflicts and these contradictions and many things are. As I used to check the papers, I can see that. So I am indicating some points on the blackboard also. Yeah, sorry, our whiteboard we are having on the board also. So let's go through powers and functions. He appoints the leader of the party who has gained majority in the general election as the Prime Minister. So he elects the Prime Minister of the India. First power and first function. Then with the consultation of the Prime Minister, he appoints the other minister of the cabinet. He administers the oath and distributes the portfolios to the minister. Then, with the help of Mr. PM, means with the Prime Minister, what he used to do? He oaths and give positions with the help of the Prime Minister to the other members as cabinet ministers, etc. Then, as long as the cabinet enjoys the support of the majority party, majority members of the Lok Sabha, the president cannot dissolve the cabinet. President is the head of the defense forces of the country. Understand? He is the head of the three forces: Air Force, Navy and Army. Three forces are there. We are having three forces: and he is considered as the head of these three forces. The president has the powers to declare war, cease war, or conclude treaties with other countries. So, main point again came. What we think? Why Narendra Modi is not running away? Yeah, why Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, is not declaring a war against China? Further, we were in the mood of war with Pakistan. It's not easy to do so. Here, by whom? Yeah, within whom is the power? The power is in the hand of president to seize the war. To seize the war. Yeah, to make a war. The powers are within president. Understand this thing, keep in your mind, not Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. It is in the hand of Mr. Rajnath Kovind, here the present president of India. He appoints the judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts, Governor of the state, Attorney General, Comptroller and Auditor General. He appoints the head of the defense forces. He appoints the chairman of the Union Public Service Commission and ambassadors to various nations. So he appoints everybody. From Narendra Modi, Mr. Prime Minister, to Supreme Court judges, High Court judges, Governor, we will go further again to the state executive. He is the head of the state executive. We will go through the governor too, but he appoints governor to the head of the defense, the head of the armies, and much more. The head of the Union Public Service Commission board is there. UPSC examination, you might have gone through this. Central government examinations, if you are to give, you can give through UPSC, means Union Public Service Commission. Thus, vast authorized executive and administrative powers are vested in the president. He can grant pardon or reduce the sentence of any convicted person, or can postpone its implementations, or can change the nature of punishment. Another good thing he can do is, for example, I have committed a crime. I will go in lower courts, then I will go in high court, then I will go in Supreme Court. Then what? These sections are there. We will study this thing in detail in our next chapter. What about courts? So, what will happen? If I want justice, if I am not fulfilled with the justice of Supreme Court, I can urge to the President. President has the right that he can cancel my hanging. He can cancel any punishment too. He summons the sessions of both the houses of the parliament and prorogues them. He can even dissolve the Lok Sabha. He can dissolve the Lok Sabha. If the president is satisfied that security of India or any part of its territory is threatened by war or external aggression or armed rebellion, he can declare a state of emergency for the whole of India or any of its part. If he sees, if he go through that it must be a war, possibilities of war, yeah, if there are big riots over there within India, he can then use emergency power. All the power of a particular state, all the power of our country India are at that time in the hand of not Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but in the hand of the President. He can declare emergency, we can say. Based on report of the governor, the President can declare constitutional emergency in that state. He can establish precedent rule by dissolving the state chief cabinet ministry. In case of financial emergency, the president can reduce salaries of all government officials, including judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court. Through the president, though the president has vast executive and administrative powers, and though all the administration can be considered in the hand of the president only and done in its name only, in the reality, the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers enjoy their powers. No doubt, he is having all of the powers within, means the president is having all of the powers within, but most probably the powers are enjoyed by Prime Minister and his cabinet minister. As you has gone through earlier, as you can go through today's, the most dominant picture you can see on the TV screen coming to and fro is of Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, and other cabinet ministers too. Now another person is there, WP. Yeah. Prime Minister, no, Vice President. In the absence of the President, the Vice President performs the functions of the President. The Vice Presidential election is carried out by the members of both the houses of the Parliament. The term period of the Vice President is of 5 years. The Vice President is also the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Understand this thing. So there are chairman of Rajya Sabha. Understand it? Is not the president, but the vice president is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Keep in your mind, the vice president is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Some complications are running over in mind of my dear students, those who are watching, those who are interested in studies, etc. I know some complications will be there. See that you are from 8, you are diverting, means you are in 9th standard now. So you have to change your mind. You have to change your body too. Maturity level must be little bit higher. As now you are in secondary, again and again I have to repeat this word, I am feeling shameful, but anyhow it is needed. And is another line? Yes, the president submits his resignations to the vice president. Wow. Means if the president wants to resign his post, he will submit his resignations to the vice president, as he is the chairman of the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. Vice president is the chairman of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. Obviously, Rajya Sabha. Now, another great person of India, Prime Minister of India. The Prime Minister is the real head of the central government. The Prime Minister is the head of the party who has achieved a majority in the general election. He is appointed formally by the President. The minister to the cabinet are appointed as per the counsel of the Prime Minister. He distributes the portfolios any minister either to be taken left or continued in the cabinet is decided by the Prime Minister. He presides over the meetings of the cabinet and also looked after the functioning of various departments of the cabinet. He takes pivotal decision. The Prime Minister is the head of Planning Commission, which is known as Policy Commission. Please underline this thing. There are three levels of ministers under the Prime Minister: the Cabinet Minister, the State Minister, and the Deputy Ministers. The Prime Minister should be a member of any one of the House of the Parliament. The ministers are individually responsible for the ministers and departments. The Council of Ministers is collectively responsible and accountable to the Lok Sabha. If the Lok Sabha rejects the policy of government on a particular issue, it is not only the responsible minister for that subject, but the whole Council of Ministers must accept the responsibility and resign. So we can understand that Prime Minister of India consists the head point in our government, because the minister is a person who is elected by the ministers, those to whom we elect and send to the Lok Sabha. So he that is elected by individually by the by the members of Parliament, and he holds the power of the Prime Minister of the nations. Apart from that, he holds each and every authority apart from President too. He is the head of Planning Commission. To rule a country, commission is made. It is called Planning Commission. He is the head. He is the person who bifurcates the ministers according to the field, the vice minister, deputy ministers, the cabinet ministers, and all of them work for India and for people. So such type is our Prime Minister. If you have any doubt, there will be confusion within Prime Minister, President, Member of Parliament, Member of Rajya Sabha, and much more things towards this thing. But it is essential and it's needed to go through it. I would like to repeat again the paragraph. The Prime Minister is the real head of the central government, and learn this thing. The Prime Minister is the head of the party who has achieved a majority in the general election. He is appointed formally by the President. The ministers to the cabinet are appointed as per the council of the Prime Minister. He distributes the portfolios. Any minister either to be taken left or continued in the cabinet is decided by the Prime Minister. He presides over the meeting of the cabinet, also looked after the functioning of various departments of the cabinet. He takes pivotal decisions. The Prime Minister is the head of the Planning Commission, which is known as Policy Commission too. There are three levels of ministers under the Prime Minister. The cabinet is known as the ministers, the state ministers, and the deputy ministers. The Prime Minister should be a member of any one house of the Parliament. The ministers are individually responsible for their ministries and department. The Council of Ministers is collectively responsible and accountable to the Lok Sabha. If the Lok Sabha rejects the policy of the government on a particular issue, it is not only the responsible minister for that subject, but the whole Council of Ministers must accept the responsibility and resign. For example, any issue, for any act, they are against the Constitution, and if the ministers, if the cabinet ministers, a group of ministers, they becomes an authority and sign in our rule, they all have to resign for their post by doing such kind of crime. And everything is responsibility of the Prime Minister. As he used to indicate, all ministers He used to keep his all ministers in his hand. He used to maintain all the duties regarding even to his own minister. There are cabinet ministers, then there are state ministers, and there are deputy ministers. Everyone are concerned to the Prime Minister of India. He makes, if you want to continue a particular person as a cabinet minister, he continues him. If you want to dissolve, he can dissolve. He must be, means the Prime Minister must be a member of any house. Either he should be the member of Parliament, or he should be the member of what? Of Rajya Sabha, or he should be the member of Lok Sabha. He holds each and every power within the Prime Minister of India. So we had gone through in organs of government with the President, Vice President, and Prime Minister. In our next session, we will continue with the state executive. Who are the state executive? As we had gone through the legislature, the central government executive. Now we will continue with in our next session with who are the state executive. Till that, thank you.